Welcome to No Party with B and J. I'm Justin.
And I'm Brenda.
And we're here to bring the receipts and get some local and national topics out on the table. Brenda, what's your opinion here on this No Kings rally? Trump posting his social media where he was dumping feces on No Kings rally and the way it's affecting the voices and the people who support such things.
For one, I want to say that was the biggest rally ever had in all 50 states. That is a record. They broke a record. So it was over 7 million people, they say, that was there. And then I'm going to say it was also dangerous. Before then, they were putting out hate, that it was hate groups. It was an Antifa. So I think it was kind of putting a target on their back so it would make people go out there to protest against that. So I'm going to say it was very dangerous for the president. You know, he's supposed to be a leader and he's supposed to be all of our presidents. But it seems like he's just being a Republican president.
He doesn't seem like he's putting the voice of the people or supporting people who have a different opinion than he does. And it was a peaceful protest. One of the biggest points of this is that it was peaceful across the country.
People said they didn't feel nothing but love, that love in the air. It was a couple of incidents I saw, but the incidents were from Republicans coming and calling people, excuse my language, but fags and fairies. And, you know, they were the one that was spewing the hate.
It seems like the Republicans were wanting to bring the controversy to something where people just wanted to have their voices heard.
Yes, but I think it backfired on them because out of that, it was some Republicans that was walking in those walks too. They're seeing it a little different. I mean, because they're looking at the economy.
Okay, and how does it hit you when the president of the United States does something you would not even let your kids do on Truth Social with his social media post where he was literally shitting on the people who had a different opinion than he had?
Well, it's not presidential. Me seeing my president on social media like all the time, I mean, I don't think that's something that he should have been doing. Some things you may think, but some things you just shouldn't say or do out loud.
It's not appropriate, number one, and it causes controversy, division, and hate.
Well, I think that's the key thing that they're trying to do. They're trying to keep us, and that's what people don't realize. And that's why we're asking for sensible thinkers. Because I think what he is trying to do is he's trying to put each race against each race. Talking about they're taking your jobs, they're taking grants, the DEI hiring, all of that together. But let me say this, no matter what race that you come from, you have gay people in all races, you have thieves in all races, you have good individuals in all races, and you have bad people in all races. Whatever you think is happening in one racial culture, it's happening in yours too. It's all over. Black people are not the only people that commit crimes. I mean, actually, if you look, we're not even that big percentage of people, but we are the biggest percentage that get locked up for those crimes.
By a large number. And it keeps going in that direction. It almost seemed like 10, 12 years ago, everything was kind of trying to be more equal. And it seems like it's taken a huge step backwards.
It's going back. I heard a pastor the other day on a podcast saying that something about bringing slavery back. And we're not too far from that. When you see ISIS out on there and they were started off, it was just illegal immigrants, as they say. That's what they call them. But then it began to be black people that they were picking up. And I mean, they weren't asking for no ID. They weren't asking any questions. They're picking it up and detaining them. And what I'll say is, right now, that's happening to every culture. And they even went into a white neighborhood. So, I mean, I think they think it's going to be somebody else. But by you siding with him, eventually it's going to be you too.
Very much so. And this kind of leads into everything that Trump and the administration is doing right now. The promises that were made on tariffs, gas prices, food prices, his approval rating. It seems like he's got one group of supporters that are looking the other direction and following him blindly. But it also looks like all these promises he's made, nobody's following the receipts on that because everything is still going up.
Food prices is up. Even next month, SNAP. People are not going to get their SNAP benefits. You got people that are on Medicaid. They're not to be, and they're about to miss their first checks. I mean, so it's the receipts of him saying that the economy is doing great. I don't know who it's doing great for, because you got people out here, and that's what I'm saying too. They're voting against their own stability. That's what makes no sense to me. You got women that are voting DEI, and I'm gonna say it again. It does not mean black. It just is trying to give an even playing field. That's for you if you were white too. If you were white and you decided that you wanted to go TSU, that meant you could go to TSU for free. So I mean, DEI found a way for people that if you were making a certain type of money, your child could still go to possibly another school and still be able to get that. Women, it was an even playing field because women used to couldn't vote. You couldn't own a house. You couldn't own a credit card. So I mean, I think because they're going to be the minority, it's a certain type of white man, and they're getting ready to be the minority. So what they're doing while they are in charge, they're trying to make sure that they hold on to that power.
They want to stay in charge, and they're doing anything they can to do that.
Not only that, Trump got a video out with him being president. I don't know if you saw that. It's one where he's on there for 2028 and the next 4 years, and it keep coming up. And then at the end, it says Trump forever.
I think in his mind, he wants to keep it this way forever. And he's trying to lay a blueprint to do that, whether it's him in office or somebody that is directly connected to him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I think so.
And, you know, we sit here and talk a lot about Trump because he's the one in office and has the power, but the Democrats are being lazy.
Say they fighting a little better than they have been. The No Kings rally was one thing, but also you got about, I'm gonna say 3 of them is kind of wishy-washy. You got Hakeem Jeffries, you got Schumer, and I want to say maybe Cooper, because they take PAC money. They're not willing to endorse some of these Democrats because too they can't say, because they're taking PAC money also. So I mean, you can't blame us all on the Republicans. We just need some sensible thinkers from the Republican side and the Democratic side. They're gonna have to get together and form an alliance.
Now, how much of this PAC money do you think is affecting the government shutdown? And how much of it do you think is affecting just the leadership roles and kind of taking a secondary, sitting back and letting the money influence everybody as opposed to letting the people influence the leaders?
Well, the money is going to always have the influence. Money is the root of all evil. So money is going to always have that influence. And then when somebody's paying you, regardless, they're wanting you to lean their way. That's why they're paying you, investing in you, hoping you're going to vote in their best interest. So a lot of people, what I find out is when they do get in office, you make all these promises, you see them around election time, and they're making these promises of what they're going to do for you, and then you don't see them no more until it's time to vote again, which I think it should be some type of rules or regulations or something to police some of these legislative leaders. Because if I voted for you, you're just supposed to be voting for me. And we're going to go back to that show we ran, Majority Rules. So I think these people should be meeting with your constituents, whatever district you're running for, and then you should be talking with them on a continuous basis because you're working for them. And then you're going to get what the majority rule want. And then you can present to them what the majority rule wanted. And then you can make your decision from there. Well, this is how my district, but a lot of them, they're voting basically on how they feel. And some, like I said, they've been getting that money. So they're voting the way the
So
money
are they
wants
really
them.
voting on the way they feel, or are they just following the money? Because this is trickling down to local. We're here in Gallatin, Tennessee, where they just overlooked every single voice of specifically the 5th district with this liquor store being put in place.
Correct.
If everybody in the 5th district, the pastors, the people, all said, we don't want this, it's not good for our community, and then it gets voted in, and the district's leader from the 5th district was the one who was the first to vote for it.
Yeah. It almost wish probably that we'd have went for the half-mile.
It made more sense.
Z-Stat would have probably been a better location. And I'm going to say, those are his buildings, and he can do pretty much what he want to with them. But I think the location that he's choosing now, it's not a good location for the 5th district. Other location, if it's going to have to be a liquor store, the HG Hill location will be a better location. We're going to talk to the community. I'm going to get out, see. I've got some feedback from other people, and they would rather have it at HG Hills if it's got to be a liquor store. So we might change our mind and be willing to go for that half-mile rule instead of it going right in the community next to apartment buildings and houses. I mean, just if it got to be.
And the leaders not listening to the people. Even in the city council meeting, only one of the district leaders stood up and said, I've listened to everything over the last few weeks, over the last few months, and voted no. When the people's voice isn't heard, it's just going off 5 people or 6 people, 7 people.
We had Joe Vance, he spoke up on it. He said it was morally wrong because it was too close to a liquor store. They could vote on it.
And that was the voice of the people. That's what everybody stood up and said.
Yes, they did. And because of that, I've had a lot of people stop by looking at possibly getting new leadership in that seat because they feel like possibly some things are slipping through the cracks. So
it leads over to the county commission here and the new Riley Gaines being put on the library board. How is that where the commission can just set appointments for people or make decisions when it's not based on what everybody's specifically saying they want or need?
Well, I'm going to say when we're looking at doing the library board, it's supposed to be somebody that is really open-minded because books are for learning. It's not for stifling and not. When you're looking at people wanting to put books out because they don't want you to learn certain things, then you're pushing the ideology. She was supposed to speak at one school, and they're supposed to have some Charlie Kirk classes in it. They told her no, she could speak, but it couldn't be during school hours. It would have to be an after-school event. So if they're already infringing something like that and don't want her to do that, why would they put her on a library board?
It to me, it's that they're not looking at the bigger picture. They're looking at their own agenda.
It seems that way. Everything seems to be pushed one side. And I'm going to say when you're doing that, it's pretty much breaking the 14th Amendment because it's supposed to be not one-sided. It's supposed to be in the middle, per se, especially when it's coming to the library and school. Yeah. You shouldn't be pushing one ideology.
Okay. Well, we're looking for more sensible thinkers. We're looking for everybody to look at both sides of the story, and we're trying to do that each and every day here on No Party with B and J.
We got to get some sensible thinkers. Hey, come out that coat.
It's the only way to do it. And we can't say this enough. The only way to make a change is to get out and vote. If you don't get out and vote, then the same people will keep the same positions. They will stay in power, and only their opinions will matter.
Yeah, you got to get out and vote. I know everybody's not happy with things that's going around in our city, and not just in a city, nationally. But you have to be majority rule. And to do that, we're going to have to get out here and vote. We're going to have to get more organized. Used to be we could rely on the churches. Hopefully we can rely on them again. We're going to have to get these buses running when it come time to vote. We're going to have to get out here and get people registered. And I'm going to be starting to do that here pretty soon. We're going to have to really just get our voting percentage up, so that we can flip some of these seats, and so that we can get some of the things that we're asking for and some of the things that we need, and it quit being one-sided.
Okay. Well, until next time, stay tuned in, stay thoughtful, stay productive, and remember to vote.
See you on the other side.
Catch you later.